Greetings tech and gaming fans, Edgerunners is back with the latest updates you don't want to miss. In today's episode, NVIDIA's internal benchmark results for the upcoming GeForce RTX 5060, Intel is prepping Panther Lake processors with more manufacturing options, and details on the Radeon RX 9060 XT. In addition, we take a look at the Gothic Remake improvements, Cronos The New Dawn, and more. Prepare a cup of your favorite tea, settle in, and let's kick things off. First up, Hardware Unboxed has published one of the first independent reviews of the GeForce RTX 5060 Ti GPU. In their testing, the card was evaluated across 14 modern games and compared to several mid-range GPUs, including the RTX 4060 Ti 16GB, Radeon RX 7700 XT, and RTX 4070. All tests were conducted using the same system configuration to ensure consistent results. At 1440p resolution, the RTX 5060 Ti delivered a 15% performance increase over the RTX 4060 Ti. It was also 4% faster than the Radeon RX 7700 XT, but still 10% slower than the RTX 4070. At 4K resolution, the performance gap widened. The RTX 5060 Ti was 20% ahead of the 4060 Ti, but its lead over the RX 7700 XT dropped to 2%. Compared to the RTX 4070, the 5060 Ti was 11% slower. Ray tracing performance was also tested. At 1440p, the RTX 5060 Ti performed on the same level as the Radeon RX 9070. In 4K ray tracing scenarios, it slightly outperformed the RTX 4070 Ti. This gives a clearer picture of where the new card stands in NVIDIA's mid-range lineup. What do you think about this generation? Is it worth it? Share your thoughts in the comments. VideoCards has revealed new information about AMD's upcoming Radeon RX 9060 XT graphics card. The RX 9060 XT will launch in two memory configurations, 8 and 16 GB of GDDR6 running on a 128-bit interface with a data rate of 20 gigabits per second. The card is powered by the Navi 44 GPU, which includes 32 compute units and 2048 stream processors, exactly half the number found in the RX 9070 XT. The reference model will come with a base clock of 2620 MHz, boosting up to 3230 MHz. Higher-end partner cards are expected to reach or exceed 3.3 GHz. As for power requirements, entry-level models will need at least a 500 watts PSU, while factory overclocked variants may require 550 watts. Most versions will rely on standard 8-pin power connectors. The official unveiling is expected at Computex 2025. Bloober Team has released the official gameplay trailer for Cronos The New Dawn, a new survival horror game currently in development. The studio, previously known for the Silent Hill 2 remake, is now working on an original IP. Cronos The New Dawn appears to draw inspiration from titles like Dead Space, featuring a dark sci-fi atmosphere and intense horror elements. One of the main features of the game is the fusion mechanic. Enemies are able to absorb the remains of fallen allies, which makes them stronger and more difficult to defeat. Simply killing an enemy isn't enough. Players will need to burn the body afterward. If not, the enemy may return in a more powerful form, adding a layer of strategy and caution to combat. The game is scheduled to launch sometime in 2025 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. A specific release date has not yet been announced. NVIDIA has revealed internal benchmark results for its upcoming budget GPU, the GeForce RTX 5060, priced at $299. According to the company, the RTX 5060 offers up to 25% better performance than the RTX 4060, even without DLSS multiframe generation. With multiframe generation enabled, performance roughly doubles compared to the previous generation. In terms of frame rates at full HD with MFG, the RTX 5060 delivers over 100 FPS in modern AAA games. NVIDIA cites examples like Alan Wake 2 at around 114 frames per second, Half-Life 2 RTX and Black Myth Wukong at approximately 130 frames per second, and Stalker 2 with over 200 frames per second. The company also mentions that reflex technology helps minimize input latency, even when frame generation is enabled. Are NVIDIA's internal benchmarks reliable enough? Share your thoughts in the comments. Intel has faced challenges in recent years, with processor sales lagging behind competitors since the release of Alder Lake. However, there are now signs of renewed momentum for the company. Senior Intel engineer Ori Lempel has confirmed that work is underway on Griffin Cove, the successor to the upcoming Lion Cove architecture. Meanwhile, development of Cougar Cove has already been completed. Cougar Cove will power the upcoming Panther Lake processors, which are set to launch in the second half of this year. A key development is that Intel engineers now have more flexibility in selecting manufacturing manufacturing processes, including options from both Intel Foundry Services and TSMC. Previously, under CEO Pat Gelsinger, there was a stronger emphasis on using Intel's own nodes, which may have contributed to performance limitations and lower yields in recent product generations. The developers behind the Gothic Remake have released a new developer diary, offering fresh insight into the upcoming game. According to the team, the remake will feature a more realistic and dynamic open world, with NPCs behaving more naturally than in the original. Characters won't simply appear out of nowhere, helping to create a more immersive and believable environment. The remake will also place greater emphasis on the orcs, aiming to explore their culture and society in more detail. The relationship between the nameless hero and the orcs will be more deeply developed, tying directly into the game's core theme of the human-orc conflict. Another significant change is the overhaul of the game's economy. Traders will have a larger role, and the number of craftable items will be limited, a move designed to prevent players from becoming too wealthy early on. A US-based engineer shared a case of attempted fraud involving the sale of an RTX 4090 on eBay. The buyer returned the card with the GPU and memory modules removed. According to a Reddit user, he sold a nearly new RTX 4090, ensuring the shipment and documenting its condition before sending it. The buyer later filed a return, claiming the card didn't display an image. Upon inspection, the seller discovered that the graphics processor and VRAM chips had been desoldered from the board. The seller reported the incident to eBay, and the platform refunded the money. Cases like this highlight a growing trend of fraud, especially with high-end graphics cards in short supply and high demand. Experts recommend that both sellers and buyers thoroughly document every step of the transaction to protect themselves. Thanks for watching our latest gaming and tech roundup. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content. Would you trust eBay for high-end hardware? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.